Portrush boasts a spectacular location, being situated on a mile-long peninsula extending into the Atlantic Ocean on the north coast of Ireland. This showcases panoramic views over the ocean and the Causeway Coast, towards Scotland and the Donegal Hills. What others don't know is that Portrush is full of myths and legends, and even the paranormal. So, right now I am standing in one of the many abandoned buildings in Portrush. Many people think that just because it's abandoned, it could be haunted, but we have a couple of friends who's going to tell us what to look out for when investigating paranormal activity.
I've been working here for about 3 years and I've never seen anything at all. I don't believe in it, but you never know.
I'd say that I do believe in the paranormal. The reasons for that are like all the kind of those ghost films, and they definitely influence me. Like even when I'm walking in during the night, I always kind of have to look around everywhere just to see if I'm not being like followed or anything like that.
I believe in paranormal activity wholeheartedly, if there's proof, again. 2 separate occasions are from like people in my family that have died and clocks stop like at the minute, so that's spooky. That's why I believe and stuff.
I only believe in paranormal or supernatural things if there's hard proof, like if they have concrete proof that things exist, like ghosts.
I'm not sure myself whether I do believe in paranormal or not. I'm still very split on whether to believe it.
I will believe if there's proof. If there's no proof, there's no believing. If the evidence is there, I'll believe, but like there's obviously has to be something, because we can't be the only ones.
I don't believe in the paranormal. I'm a complete skeptic, and it would take a lot to change my mind.
Part of the psychology of ghost hunting would be to look at our motivation of an investigator, or why we hear or feel or see what we think we hear, feel and see. And often there's perceptual biases, and one of them would be a confirmation bias. And that would be you come with an idea, a group come into a building and they have decided before they come that it's haunted, potentially, which is probably why they're there. So we tend to do things to try and find a fit perceptually in our brain.
So my name is Chloe and I used to work in the Playhouse. I worked there for 2 years between 2011 and 2012. And while I was there, we were always told stories of like how haunted the building was, and just like general like spooky stories, just to, like basically as a joke.
And if you've already decided that somewhere's haunted, it's quite probable that every sound you hear, every movement you notice is going to be attributed to something paranormal, and because you're just confirming your own suspicions.
Okay, what we would normally do whenever we first come in with a floor plan, we'd have an idea of what cameras, what digital voice recorders we want to lock down in a particular area. Once they're locked down, no one would actually enter that place until it's time to take them down at the end of the night. So you would have an idea of a particular hotel room or a particular place, like on the stage here you would have a digital voice recorder set off to one side that would record for the entire night and not be moved. Onto that you would say the time, the place, the date, who was there, etc., and then just leave it running. We would do a baseline recording of any EMF. This is a ghost meter. It's just an EMF detector. It's quite a common piece of physical kit. You turn it on, and the closer you are to anything that emits electromagnetic fields or electromagnetic force, this will register it.
We have another effect called pareidolia, and it's if you ever make faces out of clouds. That's another, we always try to make faces and try to make sense of shapes and sounds and smells. It's just what we do as humans. We always try to piece things together. And pareidolia exists very much in the field of paranormal psychology, trying to make sense of a shape. So instead of just a shadow on the wall, it becomes a face, it has eyes, it makes form. The reason we investigated the Playhouse was because there's all these anecdotal stories around the town about it being haunted. And it was from previous staff, not the staff that are here now, had reported bottles smashing in the lift, noises in the kitchen, a black shadowy figure at the top of the stage to the left.
So before, there was a medium came before I started working there, and there's also a different medium that came while I still worked there, and both were doing like shows upstairs in the theatre. And obviously when they were in setting up, they were like, oh, there's like a clear presence in the room. And obviously they both said this, and they actually both pointed and basically named the same seat in the theatre, which was like in the back right or the back left hand corner.
He likes to hang about up there.
That top left corner.
I swear to God, you got no idea what you're messing with.
And these were actually seats that were always specifically left unsold during our shows.
Just two of us lay on the stage here. We had motion detectors, we had cameras, we had digital voice recorders all on this stage. And after about an hour, there was footsteps, and the footsteps walked over to me first, around me, and then walked over to Rob.
And one of the mediums actually said that one of the spirits was a man of the cloth.
And it was 2 footsteps and a tap, 2 footsteps and a tap, 2 footsteps and a tap.
So he was like a religious man, either like a priest or like a pastor or something like that. And he really did not like the fact that we sold alcohol on our premises.
We researched the history of the Playhouse whenever we did the investigation. We didn't find out anything really paranormal, but we did find out that the hotel that's kind of joined onto here had been a monastery.
When I was younger and I saw things and I heard things, then it must be ghosts, it must be spirits, because my gran was a medium, and she always used to freak us out by seeing things that weren't there and telling us stories about the man that came to visit us.
And then there was one night I was cleaning up the theatre after a kids show, and it was really, really dirty, and I was like down on my hands and knees like getting like rubbish from below the chairs. And obviously because it was a theatre, they had a sound system, and this was during the summer, so it was quite busy, and everyone else was doing their own thing. They were all downstairs, like either working on the bar or serving food or like taking orders or whatever. So there I was upstairs, the theatre was totally empty, I was the only one there, no one else around, and then this, like, our sound system came on, and it was like an infomercial for like one of those really sharp knives about how it can cut through anything. And I can distinctly remember it. It was talking about cutting through an orange, and it was literally like, look how easy this knife cuts through this skin. And I like went downstairs and I was like, did anyone, like, are you trying to play with me? Like, what happened here? Like, who was messing about with the sound system? They're like, what are you talking about? And I think it was a ghost, because they, like, to this day, no one like admitted to doing anything. But there was always just a weird atmosphere in the Playhouse.
Digital voice recorders we carry with us at all times. They're always running. Even the ones that we've got put down and left alone, we'll always carry spare ones of these. That way we can actually record anything that we notice at the time.
If there's anybody here that would like to make contact with us, could they make a noise, please? One time we were here before, and my friend and I were sitting on this stage and we could hear footsteps. Maybe you'd like to do it again, would you? I'm going to do a series of 3 knocks. Would you possibly be able to do the 4th? Another theory is children. I have 3. often love to finish off rhymes or songs. They'll always do it, and my kids will still do it in the house, so sometimes I'll just do, re, mi, fa, sol. Would you like to make a wee knock? Could you do that again? And again? I just thought I heard a click there. But
I swear
I heard
Yeah, I heard that too.
so we all heard something, yeah, that's okay. If you hear something that's good to ask. Yeah, that's exactly what I heard.
That's why you always ask them to repeat it.
Yeah, every time you
Yeah.
did say to repeat it happened.
But when I'm wandering around in the dark on my own, you know, am I actually seeing that thing that I thought I saw? Am I actually hearing that thing that I thought I heard?